Hey everyone, I am a little under the weather right now, so, bear with me if I sound like a bag of assholes that just got shot out of a cannon that's supposed to shoot, um, dildos. I don't fucking know, man. Anyways, so that's not the only sick thing that's talking today. Sony made a nice decision to just remind people that you don't own any of the shit that you buy with, your hard-earned money. So they recently sent out an email when they wanted, or when they recently like made some changes and stuff to their end user license agreement and all that good stuff. And I saw that and I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because it got me all riled up. But yeah, so I saw this article. This is brought to us by Twisted Voxel. But I did some research of my own. I found it in the EULA. It's really great. It's wonderful. It's just great. I mean, I don't know. It's so crazy that they are just so open and brazen with it now at this point. They don't even care. They don't care. They know that we don't own any of this shit, and they don't care. So the article starts by saying Sony Interactive Entertainment, SIE for short. They they go by that a lot in their EULA and stuff. So I'm just bringing it up now. Is sending out an email reminding PlayStation users that their digital games are licensed to you, not sold. The email, titled PlayStation Terms, Copy for Your Records, tells recipients that they recently accepted several PlayStation agreements, including the Terms of Service, Code of Conduct, End User License Agreement, and Privacy Policy. It says the full terms are included for your convenience and future reference. Ah, that's how nice of them to think about us and our future, reference and stuff like that and convenience. It's great. That's wonderful that they care so much about our convenience that they, want to make sure that we have all our stuff together and that we own the terms and conditions that make sure that we know we don't own any of the shit we buy from them. Yeah, it's real nice. And ask users to retain the message for their records, which I'm sure no one is doing out of spite. Everyone is printing out that email and bringing it downstairs to the burned barrel, down next to their house. Sony recently announced that physical game disc production for the new PlayStation games will be discontinued starting from January 2028. The announcement has triggered backlash from players who argue that physical media provides true ownership, allows resale, and helps preserve games independently of digital storefronts, which is true. I don't know. Well, no, I do know why they want to get rid of those. Because they don't want us to own anything. They say it right in their fucking EULA. It's great. The wording of Section 1.4 in the company's end user license agreement included in the email, headed the license to you, clearly states the software is licensed to you, not sold. The agreement then describes the PlayStation Digital Games license as limited, non-exclusive, non-transferable, and personal, allowing users to play or use the software for private, non-commercial use on the intended system or device. It also says the rights not expressly granted by the license remain reserved, including intellectual property rights in the software. The policy itself isn't new as a part of Sony's interactive as a part the policy itself isn't new, as it is part of Sony's existing software license terms. The timing, however, is rather odd. The reminder comes at an awkward moment for PlayStation users just a day ahead of a week-long economic and gameplay blackout to protest against the company's decision to end physical media. Rather than calling for an indefinite boycott, the movement is urging PlayStation users to participate in a symbolic 7-day blackout from Sunday, August 23rd at 7 p.m. local time until Sunday, August 30th at 7 p.m. local time. Read about it here. Which, let me just bring something up here. This happened with that, like 2-day Reddit blackout that all those fucking idiots just decided, hey, we're gonna black out for 2 days. That doesn't work when you put a fucking time limit on it. I know that some people just can't go, they can't go 2 days without Reddit or 7 days without fucking, or 7 days without video games. But man, like, if you put a time limit on it, they're just gonna grit their teeth and just move on. Like, I mean, how is this not common knowledge to these people? I don't know, that doesn't make any sense. When you give it a specific time frame, this date to this date, they're just gonna be like, whatever. Who cares? 7 days without people online, who cares? They're not gonna do anything. Because 7 days is not a long time for these vampires. They don't care. They're just like if it was a month long, maybe. That's a third of one of their fiscal quarters. That might have something more to do with that. But even still, if you put a time limit on it, it's gonna just nullify the entire point of everything because the whole point of a boycott is to not use that product or to not use that service. It makes it so that that time limit now gives the executives or the people that you're supposed to be boycotting, it gives them a time frame to just be like, all right, let's just back off for a little bit. They'll they'll eventually get over it or whatever. No, it's like so that was the article, but I want to show you the actual ULA here, the change. So right here, 1.4, the license to you, that's what the article was talking about. The whole thing is a list of just shit. So the 1.4 license to you, the software is licensed to you, not sold. Plain English, right there. There's no legalese to that at all. Everyone can understand that. They're not selling you anything. They're licensing you something so that you can use it for however long they deem necessary. You're granted a limited, non-exclusive, non-transferable, and personal license to play or use the software for your private, non-commercial use on the system or device it was intended for. This license is only effective from the indicated software release date, early access date, or beta release date. Any rights in the software that we do not say are granted to you in this license are reserved, including all intellectual property in the software. This license does not include the right, and as a condition of the software terms, you do not wow. God. My God. I guess the Sony assassins must be coming after my fucking vocal cords. Including all intellectual property in the software, this license does not include the right. This license does not include the right, and as a condition of the software terms, you agree not to do any of the following: rent, lease, or sub-license the software or make it available on a network to other users without express prior written consent of Sony. Modify, create derivative works, adapt, translate, reverse engineer, decompile, or disassemble the software or required middleware, such as anti-cheat software. Wonderful. My God, I love anti-cheat. Ugh, gross. Anyways, obtain the software in any manner that is other through obtain the software in any manner other than through Sony's authorized distribution methods. Emulate the software. Hack the software or create or make available unauthorized mods, including programs to gain unfair advantage in online or multiplayer modes, or otherwise cheat. Receive or provide boosting or like services, or provide personal account credentials to other person. To advance progress. God, man, what the fuck is happening? To advance progress or achieve results not solely based on your own actual gameplay, copy, publicly perform, or broadcast the software without the express prior written consent of Sony. Wait, what? You can't. So you're telling me I can't, like, live stream something? I can't live stream the game? Like, if a new game comes out, you're telling me I can't fucking live stream it? What about transformative content, huh, bud? What if I wanted to do a no commentary, style live streamer video on release date to generate hype for that game? Or to just enjoy the game with the community? Is that not just transformative content? I mean, I'm playing the game as intended, no cheats on a PS5 or on a PS4, whatever. No idea. That's interesting how they put that in there. So you apparently can't stream or make any kind of content with Sony's games anymore. So they're just like Nintendo. Makes sense. Use any means to bypass or disable any encryption, security, or authentication mechanism for the software. Violating any of these above conditions will immediately void your license, and you acknowledge that Sony may employ technological measures, including fraud detection tools, telemetry, anti-cheat systems, and audits of account behavior to prevent, detect, and respond to violations of these software terms. For clarity, your use of sharing UGC, user-generated content, features explained in section 3.4 will not violate conditions B or G. Okay, so user-generated content. For clarity, your use of sharing user-generated content features explained in 3.4. So I bet it talks about streaming there too, but let's go see here. Software may allow you to create or share content such as text, images, videos, gameplay, clips, music, or other materials. UGC, creating and sharing UGC helps build our community, but you're responsible for what you share. By posting or sharing UGC through the software or related services, you grant Sony companies non-exclusive worldwide perpetual irrevocable royalty-free license without the right to sub-license to use, host, store, reproduce, adapt, modify, publish, distribute, display, and perform the UGC in connection with the software, PlayStation services, and their promotion. This includes using your UGC alone or combined with others for in-game events, marketing, and community showcase. You will not receive payment unless we tell you otherwise. Yeah, that makes sense. There's that in like every single ULA nowadays for that kind of stuff. So I was getting worried that they were like, hey, you can't stream anything anymore because we don't want you to or something. I don't know. I don't know. I will always prefer my games physically. You know, if I have to buy a game digitally, then it is what it is. Obviously, Steam, there's not much we can do about that. I like to buy a lot of games on GOG now, but you know, you can't win them all, I guess. Um, but it is just kind of crazy to me that we're at this point in this timeline and no one seems to care. I don't know, I just wanted to shit talk some of Sony's stupid, baffling fucking decisions, as per usual, Sir complains a lot here, but I mean, like, let's be real here. There's not enough complaining that goes on the internet already, right? But yeah, no. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. So if you like this video, go ahead, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Any feedback is good feedback. Uh, Tell me what you thought about all this in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys think. And yeah, if you really liked it, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's on the screen right now. If not, that's also cool too. But there's also another video on screen if you want to watch that too. So with all that out of the way, fuck you all, and fuck Sony, and have a good night.